I'm Dr. Partha Nandi. Today we're talking about how do you shop for nutritional foods on a budget for our low-income families. And I said, what better place to do it than my neighborhood Kroger? So come along with me. So we are in the produce section, and Jake Williams from the Gleaners Community Food Bank. Thank you for stopping by.
Oh, thank you.
You know, we're talking about produce and what's freshest. Is it, and then what's most nutritious? Is the freshest always the most nutritious, Jake? It's one of the things we always talk about.
No, that's one of the myths that we debunk on the Cooking Matters at the Store tours. It depends on seasonality, and it depends on what products you're going to use and so forth. Sometimes frozen or canned is a better option. So.
And we talked about this, that you may see a product on your shelf in the store, and we talked it could be from Brazil, and you said it could be up to 30 days, right?
Yeah, I mean, it takes a long time to get fresh produce from another country, or depending on, strawberries don't grow in Michigan in the middle of February, for example.
Right, exactly. Now, what I wanted to do was and talk about in the organic aisle. Now, I think that some people say that, it's not in my budget, but I want to show right here is that you can get, for example, a bag of carrots, 5-pound bag of carrots for $3.99. So again, the idea is that, you can have produce that's organic, that if you choose to have organic non-GMO food, that it can be affordable. I think one of the myths we're talking about is that, if you want organic produce, it's not affordable. 5 pounds for $3.99, a lot of us can afford that. Now moving down, a bunch of beets here, $1.69, and we actually have the greens as well. So again, affordable. I think most families can afford $1.69. And lastly, cabbage. One of our family favorites is making dishes with cabbage, and cabbage is 89 cents a pound. So you get a couple of these. It's 5 pounds. It really could go a long way. So again, the idea is that you can have fresh produce, which is organic, and still make it affordable. And we're talking about food insecurity. We're talking about trying to make the most out of your budget, and you can really do that. You can do that at your local Kroger or local grocer, wherever you are. And now more and more, it's becoming affordable. So you got a lot of variety here. It doesn't mean that every single one of these items will fit your budget, but many of them will, like I pointed out. So yeah, the idea is that if you want to do that, you can really achieve your goals and your budget. We talked about reading labels, and we're in the bread aisle. So Jake, maybe we can talk about pick up a couple of loaves of bread and find out what the labels show. So please go ahead.
Yeah. So we want to try to identify whole grains. So if we look on this package, the first ingredient is enriched wheat flour. So the first ingredient should say whole.
Correct.
So even though most of the bread that we buy is wheat, so we've got a great example here. If we flip over the label, it's whole wheat flour is the first ingredient, where that one's enriched wheat flour. Because as you know, fiber is so important. So.
Yep, MG, we love fiber.
Yeah.
Important for bowel movements and other things as well. But here's the thing that he's pointing out. The letter is still wheat. This says wheat. So unless you look at the little print in the back, you won't have any idea. It's a great tip.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, Jake, we're still talking about labels. We've got a lot of cans here. Maybe you can point out the difference between some of the labels and looking at what's actually in the product.
Yeah, so we've got 2 different cans of green beans here.
Yeah.
One of them's no salt added, and one of them's just the regular green bean.
Yeah.
So if we flip over to the nutritional facts, we can see that the serving size is the same.
That's important.
And a lot of people are concerned with sodium. So if we look on the no salt added, there's only 15 milligrams per half cup of sodium in here. And on this one, there's 290 milligrams per half cup.
20 times more. So you're looking at this. So if you look at the label in the front, if you don't flip it over, beautiful green beans on both.
Yep.
But this is 20 times more sodium. So a lot of my patients are on 2-gram sodium diets. And for them, remember, you have 3.5 servings in one of these. And so basically you'll have your entire day's worth of sodium, half of that in one can. So that's an important tip. And look at this. So look for the no salt added, and more importantly, look at the back. Turn the can over so you'll look at the labeling. So very important tip.
Excellent.
We're at the dairy aisle, and a lot of people have a misconception that if you have whole milk versus fat-free milk, you lose some of the nutrition. Let's take a look at the labels.
Yeah, I'll grab that. Oh, you can grab this one. So.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, so if we look at the nutrition facts again, we see the serving size on both of these is 8 fluid ounces.
Yep.
And one of the myths or misconceptions is that whole milk maybe has more vitamin D or more calcium on it. So, you know, on the nutrition facts, there's vitamin D and calcium, so we can go right down here. And what's your say on this fat-free milk?
So vitamin A is 10%?
Or calcium, rather.
Oh, calcium 30%?
Mine's 30%. And how about the vitamin D?
25%, exactly the same.
Yeah, so, and we know that the serving size is the same. Yep. We know the calcium and the vitamin D is the same.
The big difference is calories, right?
Yeah, so the calories are different, but then where do we get those calories from? It's from the fat.
Correct.
So when we make choices in dairy, we want to choose low fat or non-fats.
Correct, exactly. And it's literally, you know, what Jake's pointing out is 150 calories per 8 fluid ounces. There's 8 of these servings in this, and it's 80 calories versus 150. So it's almost half the calories, and you get the same nutritional value. So again, the idea we're trying to promote here is that you look at the label, you make some assumptions when you look at the big label, but if you turn it around, you can really see there's more to it than meets the eye. And if you want other choices, there's 2%, 1%, but the idea is that the nutritional values stay about the same, don't they?
Exactly, yep.
Perfect. Well, thanks for shopping with me at our local Kroger. We got a lot of great stuff at a great price, so thanks for coming with me.